evening, everybody. How is everybody this evening? Everybody's so
Great.
quiet. Everybody, here we are. I was like, nobody's talking to me tonight. We are at the end of January. Is that why everybody's so quiet? Everybody's tired. You made it to the end of the month. It
That's
is
what it is.
Friday. Well, you made it to the end of January. Thank God it's Friday, and thank God it is the end of the month. You made it. Can you all believe it's the end of January? This is a prerequisite that this year is going to go by very, very fast. I remember when I was a kid, it seemed like the year would take forever. And now it seems like we get to the end of the month and the end of the year so very, very quickly. And now, as I get older, I'm like, slow down a little bit. I want to seize the time a little bit more. We are so thankful to have you all here with us for another episode of the Elijah Sisters podcast. And we're so grateful to have our very special guest here with us today, Dr. Bernadette Elijah. She is a very special guest. If you haven't guessed, she has a very similar last name as us because she is our mom. And so we are very thankful to have her here with us. Mom, welcome back with us. You were just here with us a couple weeks ago, and you were such a wonderful guest that we just had to have you right on back. So cheers to you, Mom, having you back with us.
Wonderful.
We are excited to have you here with us today. And because this is Financial Wellness Month, and financial wellness is one of the things that you are so wonderful at, we couldn't think of having a better guest here with us today but you. You are great and proficient at credit repair and savings and just all of those good things. And so we just had to have you back with us. You've been teaching all of us on financial wellness since we were all very little girls with our piggy banks. And so, and teaching us to tithe and teaching us the importance of just being good stewards of our money. And will be adult enough to say I didn't get it until I got to be an adult. I didn't grasp it the way I think my sisters did, but once I got it, I got it. But we want to, this month is all about goals, and so we want to make sure people are starting the year off well. And so a goal should definitely be to be good with your money, and also cryptocurrencies and investing, and just being good with your money. So we want to get right into our show. So we want to welcome everybody. We do have great things, some fun things happening in the news. So we want to get right into it. Did you know Pinkett Smith is used a documentary that is coming on Netflix next month on African Queen Jinga? It's a historical documentary blending dramatization and documentary historical facts. And this series traces the rise and reign of Queen Njinga of Angola amid her family betrayal and political rivalries. And it will be starring Jada Pinkett Smith, actually, in this role. There's not a lot given on the series, but anything about African queens and historical facts that will be airing on Netflix February the 15th. What I did look up about Queen Nzinga, she was the monarch of the I sure hate saying African names because I hate messing it up, and I have African friends, man. She's a queen and monarch of the Mbudu people. She was a resilient leader who fought against the Portuguese and their expanding slave trade in Central Africa. So I'm looking forward to that in the next couple of weeks. Will you all be watching that?
Yes. I probably will check it out. I like stuff like that.
I'm going to be checking that out. So cheers to Jada Pinkett Smith for giving us that good information. And we lost Chantilly. She's back with us. So there's been a lot of talk about the Chrisley family. Of course, we know Todd and Julie Chrisley. We don't want to get into why they went to prison last week, but I did want to discuss and keep their daughter Savannah Chrisley in our prayers. Just following her reports, Todd reported to prison last week for 12 years in Florida and Julie 7 years in Kentucky. But that Savannah has felt like she, at age 24, she took custody of her brothers, Grayson, age 16, and her niece, who became her little sister, Chloe, age 10. She feels like she has to put her life on hold while particularly her mother is away. And so she has said that she's not going to get married. She's not going to have children. She's already feeling like she's in a very deep depression. I can't imagine what it feels like to have your mother be gone for so long, because they were the best of friends. So just kind of listening to some of her podcasts and reading some of the articles, I just really felt compassion for her, and just really feeling like we should just be prayerful for her. Just, she's really feeling like her life has stopped, but that she feels like she has to stop her life. That is concerning for me. She's only 24 and she's achieved so much, but that she feels like I can't do anything else till I get my mom back specifically. That has to be a lot on her. So, that's a lot. And that her life is still very public, that people are questioning her, talking about her just so much that unfortunately she can't kind of crawl into a cave and go away, which is what she wants to do.
No. Yeah.
So that's a lot. So that's a concern, and that she still has to really raise her brother and her sister, and the 16-year-old Grayson really feels like he wants to leave the public eye.
I think he should.
Bitter. Unfortunately, he kind of feels like he knows what his parents has done, but he feels like people have also kind of ripped his family apart. So he's kind of, his life is reality. His life, he grew up in reality TV, but he feels like he just kind of hates people right now. So the family's going through a lot.
I think he does need to. He needs to. I think they all need to take a step away and go to therapy, and just not. They don't need to be in the public.
Yes,
they don't need to be. That's not being another. Because I'm like, if they keep being in public, they're going to make another cash grab, insensitive reality show about who's left behind or something messy. So they need to step back and just be a family right now.
Yep,
just be a family.
So USA, because USA gave them off for her and Chase, which is Growing Up Chrisley. USA allowed them to keep their show, but I'm wondering if they maybe don't need their show.
I don't think they should right now. If he's going through that, the daughter's going through that. That's at least if nothing else, take a year, a season. Just take a break. Don't go right into more reality TV. Don't. Because everything he's going through, everything she's going through is going to be on there, and it's going to make it worse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I would hate for him to do something from the stress, especially that young age, or her to have, just take a break.
That's my concern is he's at the age where young people can be very suicidal, can get into drugs, alcohol, anything. So, and he doesn't have his parents to guide him. So, yeah. So TLC has been known for the last 13 years now for their show Sister Wives and Seeking Sister Wives. So they've had two powerhouse shows on polygamy for the last few years. The show Seeking Sister Wife chronicles several different couples in different stages of polygamy, different husbands with different numbers of wives. And I'll admit, I watched the shows. Sister Wives.
I watched a little bit. I watched a little bit of Sisters.
Sister Wives is about one husband and his four wives. Now, Sister Wives, unfortunately, probably is just ended its 17th season, and we've had different discussions about polygamy, and I kind of wanted to have a discussion with Mom on here, because Mom and Dad have been married for 45 years, going on 46 years. Just one husband, one wife.
Really? I ain't got no sister mamas.
My God.
But the Browns have pushed the agenda that for the last 12 years, the last 12 seasons, have been pushing that polygamy is so good and it's so helpful to have these other moms, and they help with the finances, and they help with, you have all these extra wives, they help with the children and all this stuff for the last 12 seasons. This last season, everything has fallen apart. And the third
they're not all happy.
the third wife left,
Mm.
and then the second wife, this last season started with the third wife divorcing him. Then mid-season, the second wife left, and it ended with the first wife leaving him. So now he's down to just one wife. He lost 3 wives in one season.
Wait, so he did this to be in a polygamous relationship and ended up back in a monogamous relationship.
And what's so funny is the fourth wife was the one who really, really, really wanted the polygamy. She is so mad that all these women have left her with this man. And she is like, I do not want a monogamous. You all have left me with him, and I do not want him by myself.
She wanted the sisters? She wanted the sisters?
She wanted the sisters.
Poor thing.
And she's the one with the little kids with him. So, and then she came into it with kids that he adopted. So, they've pushed this agenda for all these years. And, something that we talked about earlier on was, he has a total of 18 children. None of the older children believe in polygamy at all. None of them. And so if this was genuine, if this was, number one, religious, and because they're Mormons, if this was true religion, then why don't any of your children follow you?
It's a pastor too. It's a pastor who talks about being in Israel. I think he got like 50 wives. His older kids don't have nothing to do with him.
50? Nobody needs that. You ain't King Solomon?
Yeah, he needs it now. He needs it.
That is too many. No, he don't.
You couldn't even talk me into that.
No. Who becomes wife 45? What do you say when you like you gonna be 45th? You gonna be number 49. You the last one. You 50. Like
they really use God. They
conversation?
really say that God said. They really just say God chose. That's how they do it. You're chosen.
No.
And
God
they really prey on
God gotta tell me that to my face. My God gotta tell me that to my face.
Well, they prey on really young girls.
That's what I'm saying. God gotta tell me that to my face. I got to see the lights. He got to come down and tell me. I don't need give me a sign. I need words.
So it was a show. It was a show.
My God.
My phone is about to die again.
We'll be here, darling.
Just switch to your laptop. Try to get it before she leaves. Switch to your laptop.
So
she go. I can see her. I see her signal dropping. She about to pop off.
I guess pushed the polygamy with the wives. They now are then seeking brother husband with 4 different wives who now have different multiples of husbands, and that starts in March.
I want to see that because nobody ever does that, and they always act like. That's like people, some of the mess, especially most of the messy people. They're like, "That's not no. You can't have a bunch of husbands. Why not? If you gonna have a bunch of women part of your house."
I can tell you from the trailer that I watched that it's not stable, and that almost all of the husbands are very insecure and not happy.
Of course not. They wouldn't be on reality TV if they were. If this was a healthy polygamy relationship, they wouldn't be on reality TV because they'd be like, no, I want to keep it private.
I understand that people can have whatever situations they want, but I want to ask them after being married for 45 years and being with daddy 50 years.
Absolutely not. I'm against it. I'm not for it. What happened to that man's children? What about that man Chantilly say? Oh, did you ask the question yet? I'm sorry.
She was ready. She was raring to go. She was like,
I'm sorry.
Do you really think that can there be any healthiness in having multiple spouses either way? I mean, because what I hear from other religions like Israelites, Rastafarian, different thing is that they really go back to that's the Old Testament, that's biblical, that that God actually set things up that way. And I'm just saying, I mean, I've been honest in saying I was in a relationship with someone who really tried that with me, and so I've read the scripture, I get that, but I'm just saying, I know for me, I just couldn't be talked into it. I just think I don't see how it can be healthy. And even though you're telling me these scriptures in the Bible, I still know those same scriptures about those same people who weren't happy.
Yes. There's an Israelite group that I watched about 3 years ago, and one man said, somebody has to tell the truth. We started teaching this, and we started trying to live it. All these men were there dressed up in their, garb, and they said all of our wives left. All the men in the group said all of our wives left because some of the Mormon groups that I watched a few years ago, they've known nothing else but that, and they're leaving. They don't want it anymore. They want something different. And so if you get somebody born into it, or honestly, some of the pimps, I'm talking about old school, down, cold, hard pimps, they approach young girls, give you a place to live. This is going to be easy. All of us are going to be one big happy family. But that's not how the story goes. And so you're looking at the same thing. These people who start living it on television in front of the world, it's not one big happy family. And the guys, they're going to be so embarrassed, and it's going to mess up what they were trying to live behind closed doors. It's going to mess all that up because they're going to be thinking about their own male psyche and how they look to the rest of the world. And I'm not saying people should live for the world, but that's a part of why it's been so undercover. So am I for it if all the people in it agree and that's exactly what they want, but they can definitely keep that over there, not over here?
No.
I agree.
Most of those people aren't happy. It seems like the sister wives were having a great time. Well, not a great time, but some of them were having a time with each other. That's who's helping them with the cooking, the cleaning, helping them with the kids. But him, okay, they can't even sell that. They
the
can't
episodes I remember watching they were mostly okay with each other, and it was like a group of girlfriends or family members that helped raise kids. They interacted generally, some messy ones. But generally, they interacted very well together. And but it was like a lot of interactions with him. It would be jealousy. It would be messy. It was just like, so I'm like, this is already not a healthy version of polygamy, which I don't agree with it. But there are I don't agree with it for me. But I do know there are people that are perfectly happy. Everybody's doing what they doing. Nobody is being messy, but that's not what Sister Wives was. And there was a lot of issues with it being him.
Yeah, they tell us there are people that are perfectly happy. We don't know that.
Right.
Yeah. True.
Right.
But I definitely know the one I saw on TV one.
Yes. Yeah. True. And when you add reality television to it, just reality TV without a bunch of husbands and wives, a lot of people's families don't survive just that. Having cameras on you, following you around, just that factor alone is not healthy.
Yeah.
No. That's all. Like any small issue being on reality TV would have made it 100 times worse.
That's right.
They could have quietly worked through it if they weren't on TV, but because it's on TV now, it's we need views. So they're making everything worse.
Yes.
Because so. I'm not trying to be polygamous with anybody though. I ain't trying to be
No.
number 2, 50, 62, 30, 35, none.
Nope.
And
Nothing
I
is
think
helpful if people are talking to it.
I think,
Yeah.
and is that he gets to tell you when he feels like he needs another wife.
And that's not even really how it's supposed to work. Like,
Some of the groups,
it's not.
some of the groups actually, I'm talking too much. Some of the groups
No, you're
actually,
not.
the wives get together and they
Yeah.
choose when they want another one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But all of that is a little odd, you know.
Mm-hmm. Hello,
Oh, yeah.
Amitria.
Yes. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
That's all. That's what I'm like. No.
I
Yeah.
I can't. I'm not gonna be choosing nobody else, and you don't get to come tell me.
No.
So I just wanted your opinion.
And some of the,
you want to be with somebody else? Want just me and him?
I'll try to stop giving my opinion after this
No,
one
we
last
want your
thing.
opinion.
Yo, yes.
Okay. Some of them who, when you saw the wives getting along with each other, I saw that the wives would go to the husband and tell him their problem, and they were beat with the Bible into, that's because you have a heart of jealousy. That's because your heart's not right. Why can't you get along with your sister? So that's what I'm saying. They were beat into how to act. And then finally, maybe they could try to work on, quote unquote, getting their heart right and get along with that sister wife. But then it becomes him. He didn't listen to me. He didn't care about me. He's still choosing. I still get to have, I don't know how they work out the whole who gets to have romance situation, but just too unnatural. What about the spontaneous? You know?
I agree. Amitria said some men can't handle one, so I have multiple. I agree.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel you.
I always wonder the ones who have, you know, since some cultures and some races of women are thought to be so outspoken and overbearing, I always wonder, do some of those cultures get together and hem him up in there and tell him about himself good and strong? Do the women get together and tell him?
They do. Yeah. I remember I saw something some years ago. It was I know they were in Africa, but I don't remember where. But it was it was a guy that was getting ready to marry another wife. But he didn't just say, "Okay, I have another wife." He had to be able to, before they even allowed him to get another wife, he had to prove that he could take care of another wife financially. Because if he couldn't, they were like, no, you don't get enough. You can't just go. You can't even take care of the one you got. So no. So he had to prove that, and then the person who, you know, taught the new wife coming in what to do, what's expected, everything was the first wife, the head wife, and the family, like the women in the family, the older women in the family, you know, helped her get ready, told her what she should do, all that kind of stuff. So it wasn't this whole, we just gonna get little young girls and tell her that. I'm like, that's not even how it's always.
No, sir.
You know, like that's not even how it's done. Like, I don't agree with it, but I'm like, when you hear about the healthier ways of it, it's not done. It's not done to you just gonna prey on 18-year-olds and that. You're really having a discussion. You're dating a person. You're finding out if they're gonna fit. You're discussing if they even really want to be in it, like what it's really going to be about, what it's going to take. So I'm like, this whole messy thing on Sister Wives, that was a mess to begin with. Because he was just praying on women. That's why it fell apart.
This is a fad. It's a fad.
Yeah. It's making them money. And it's hurting all the kids.
It is. Because if your older kids don't even want to deal with you, it's probably a reason.
Yeah. Well, you have to think usually the older children, a lot, these ones that we're watching now, they didn't grow up in that and they're just tired of it. And the older sons are sometimes treated like trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
And
might
that's
know
what's
stuff
been
about him
happening.
that everybody don't know, and they was like, we don't want nothing to do with him.
That's what's been happening, particularly on the Sister Wives show. And some of the older sons aren't even on the show. They're not even choosing to be filmed anymore.
They don't want any part of it. I'm getting too depressed to talk about finances.
We're moving on. Also in the news, so Abby Lee Miller, who we've all come to know and love in the dance world, she is selling her Dance Mom studio in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, after many decades. She announced on Instagram. She revealed that it's time. She shared that the infamous studio has gone up for sale. She sold it for $300,000. So she didn't sell it for pennies.
Of course not.
She shared that that time is very bittersweet. She sold her property though, and this is when I read this, so I thought about things that Mom has shared with me. That she said, "I sold my property. I didn't sell my name. I didn't sell my brand." She said, "I didn't sell my life's work. I only sold brick and mortar, cinder blocks, and an amazing dance floor that is still in mint condition. One of the best floors that I've ever stood on." And I thought, something that Mom actually has put into all three of us, that sometimes you just move and shift in life, because she had cancer where she couldn't walk. She's still struggling to walk. She had major surgery on her back and in different things. So, she can't do anything in the studio, but Abby Lee Miller will forever be Abby Lee Miller.
Yes.
And, she said, "I'm still dancing all over the world. I'm still teaching all over the world because of my name and all of the students that she has that carry her name and her brand." And so she said, because people were saying, "I'm so sad and this is so horrible." And she said, "No, it's just a building. I'll always be Abby Lee Miller." And then she said, "As long as I have students and dancers all over the world," she said, I haven't gone anywhere. The building is just gone. And the beauty is that a daycare bought it. So she said, it's still going to be kids in it. So, she said, it's still going to be special. And still going to be precious. So, I get that she won't have dancers per se, but as long as there's going to be kids, it's still going to be dancers, because kids are going to always be somewhere dancing. So,
I was never one of those people that I wouldn't say attacked her, but like was trying to act like she didn't do anything. And it's like, okay, people paid a lot of money to go sit in their kids in her studio, and it wasn't just because it was on reality TV. And the wife, I forget her name, Maddie Ziegler. You do know where? Like, yeah, she's big now. We heard about her from where? Like it's several dancers from her studio that have went on to do amazing things, and y'all can say, "Oh, it's just their talent." Okay.
And Maddie has been her name and saying Abby Lee didn't do anything for me, and she has been saying, "I know what I did for Maddie." And she said, "You wouldn't know Maddie if it wasn't for me in my studio." So that's all I have to say, which is true.
And I'm sorry, that's a fact. That is a fact.
That's facts are facts.
She's not saying she gave Maddie her talent, but she is okay. As talented as she is, there's no guarantee. We would have heard about Maddie. Then Sia would have heard about Maddie, which would have had her in several of her videos and on tour and everything. So a door was open somewhere. Sometimes you gotta appreciate that door, even if you don't like the person.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't just spit in somebody's face because it's you feel good about it for some reason because you
I told you about it was Maddie's mom that time when she got real try to get gangster with her and because Abby would yell and holler and Maddie's mom was I'm pulling her out today, and Abby Lee said come with me. She wouldn't pull her file out. She said see this is a contract. This is a contract. This is a year-long contract. She said, "You can take her out today, but your bill will still be due every month."
Thank you.
and she because that's the
And
one I
Maddie
found out.
and sought herself right back down with the other mothers.
Because it wasn't even just that she had to still pay the monthly bill. To end that contract early, it was
You a fee.
several $1,000.
Right.
So her mama was like, "Well, we can work, we can
So
wait."
Abby was like, "You not heard him? We
No,
can go."
because she was like, she said, if you pull her out, I spent time. I had a seat. I could have had somebody else in here.
And
You
there's
took
a
off,
waiting list. There was a
so you
waiting
can
list
pull
at
it.
that time. Somebody else could take this spot.
Yep.
Oh,
She was like, I
wow.
could. She basically said, "You owe me for the spot I didn't give somebody else. So go ahead and pull her." Her mama said, "Never mind."
All right. So this January is National Brain Teasers Month, and before we get into our vision boards, I have some brain teasers. We want to make sure our brains are sharp before we get into dealing with our visions and our money. All right. You ready?
Okay.
Mom is good with brain teasers.
Oh.
All right. What gets broken without being held?
Heart.
No. That's a good one now.
That was a good one.
Dreams.
No. That's a real good one.
That is too. Oh,
Promises. Promises.
That's it. That's a promise.
Mama on top of that.
Am I the only one here?
You was on top of it. You was quicker than me. I was like, okay, well, all right.
You bet last time Johnny Nancy was throwing stuff at me. It was just
Really
bad. All right. If you have me, you want to share me. If you share me, you haven't got me. What am I?
If you have me, you want to share me. If you share me, you don't have me. What am I?
Time.
Your eyes.
There, I was like, news. No, they money because I ain't it.
Social media post.
No.
When you said, I'm gonna be like, oh, you're right.
A secret.
Oh my.
See, I knew it. I knew you were saying I'm gonna be like, right.
Wow.
What is always coming but never arrives?
Oh, that never arrives.
Wow.
Maybe find one to be so deep.
It's so easy.
Well, you look at that. What?
I can't think of that.
Tomorrow.
That's right. When tomorrow gets here, it'll be today.
You right. You right. You right.
Okay, I'm gonna give y'all a fun one. A man stands on one side of a river, his dog on the other. The man calls his dog, who immediately crosses the river without getting wet and without using a bridge or a boat. How did the dog do it?
One more time, please.
Yeah, one more time. That wasn't a
on one side of a river, his dog on the other. The man calls his dog, who immediately crosses the river without getting wet and without using a bridge or a boat. How did the dog do it? How did the dog cross the river?
Didn't use
Nope.
Are they on the same side of the river?
Yes, he came to him.
The dog didn't get wet. The guy went to the dog.
Nope.
Ah,
I do not.
The river was frozen.
you.
Your mother's here. Don't use that language.
That's why she hit. I saw her video. I saw her signal go down. Her video froze.
We lost mom and Shiny.
They said we can get those breaks.
Shiny ain't never came back. Shiny must remember we was doing a brain tease.
Well, she's still trying to come back in. Talk about your new hairs and your new lashes.
I know. Oh, that's right. I wanted to make sure that I give a shout out to my friend at Young's Beauty Supply, Mr. Steve, who I am now making sure that I get my new hair from. I love my new hair. I've been wanting to get this particular wig blend for a long time. This muted ombre color. I have actually been nervous. So if you all like it, please let me know if you like it. I know that I'm real big on the purple, but this has been like a lot for me. But I have been nervous and want to try different things. And one of the things that I said this year, like I've been a big proponent of trying new things when I've tried all the different shades of purple over the last 7 years. And I've gone back to blonde and tried some platinum. But this year I have said I want to step out and really live and try some different things. So I'm going to try some different looks and different colors on our viewers. And so I want you to give me your opinions. If they're nice, I don't want your opinions if you don't like them. But if you like the different looks I'm going to try, then I want you to make sure you give me your thumbs up or your opinion. But this one I've actually looked at over the last probably 3 years and wanted to try. And when I tried it, I absolutely fell in love with it. And so I actually, you can't really see on here, but I actually even kind of blended my eyeshadow to match it, the different colors in my hair. But I actually got my wig, my makeup, my eyelashes. I couldn't make it to the nail salon, so I actually got my fingernails and my earrings. So my Aries, because she's a proud Aries. Yes, she is. So, Mr. Steve, thank you so much for being awesome. If you are in the local Florence area, we definitely want you to patronize them at Young's Beauty Supply at 1113 Building F, Oakland Avenue, Florence, South Carolina, or give them a call at 843-407-5169. Please tell Mr. Steve that Leya sent you. And I want to get the website because I know that he has a website and a Twitter account, and I know that you can order things from him as well for our friends that live in other places, because I know that we have followers that are just as glamorous as me that live in other places. And we want to give him as much support as possible because he's also a man about him and his wife. And so we also want to give him as much love and support as we possibly can, because if he's making me look good, I want him to make you look good as well. So one of the things that we all got introduced to as little girls is the term when we were younger was not vision boards. We were discussing this. We were planning this show. Was they were just called? I think we just called them collages when we were kids. It's everything is branding now, and so it wasn't fancy vision boards 30, 40 years ago. We used to do these every year, and our mom would have us take time to kind of set the tone for who we are, what we want it to be. And we would get the magazines out and clip pictures of, what we wanted to, how we wanted to dress, what we wanted to look like, what we saw our futures as. And those things would be very, very, very fun. And when you're little, things I think are more materialistic. As you get older, you see more into your future. Um, and so when you're little, everything's is like a lot of shoes and clothes and cars and long hair and thin and whatever it needs to be. And then as you get older, of course, you really start seeing who you are and what you want to be in those different things. Um, and so those goals and different things are amazing. And I think once we became, I know the first time I remember doing it, I was probably 14. Mom asked us to write down if money, time, education, and what is the other thing, money, time, education, and I think it's travel wasn't an issue, what all would you do? And just write. And she said, just write till you can't write anymore. And I know when you first think of that, you probably are thinking maybe 10 or 15 things, but I know the first time I ever did it, I probably wrote 500 things. I filled up, she gave us all like these small little notebooks, and I know I filled up my notebook. And we would do that every single year. And when your mind starts to dream, when you're allowed to dream, and dreaming doesn't cost you anything, when you're allowed to dream and just go for it, it's an amazing and a very liberating thing. And one of the things that I thank my mom for, and all three of us do, is teaching us to dream, allowing us to dream. And I can't think of anything in my life that I ever said to my mom I want to do that she didn't ever tell me I couldn't do. It was always, how do you think you can get that you want to do? I mean, when I was probably 12, believe it or not, I wanted to be a photographer. She bought me a camera. And I think I did that for like 6 months, and I never picked the camera back up. But she invested in that. As long as I wanted to do it. And I've just flipped it around. I'm just on the other side of the camera. So over the years, continue to do that. And so today we're going to show you our vision boards. And today we're going to talk to you about, we still do that list of things. And now even as a church, we do a list of things that we would do if time, money, education, and those things wasn't an issue. As leaders, we do it. And so we're going to share those things. We're going to share at least 50 of those things with you and our vision board. And then we're going to turn it over to our mom, and she's going to talk to you about financial wellness. And all these things tie in together because you can dream as much as you want to dream, but hopefully once you're done dreaming, you find a path to financial freedom and start to get some of these doggone things done. Because as long as you sitting there dreaming and you broke, life just ain't good for you. So I'm gonna turn it over to Chantilly, and she's gonna share her. She putting the glasses on.
Oh no! Serious about y'all. Serious about this.
She's gonna share her.
See what I'm talking about.
Okay, so this is my vision board, and this is my vision board for the next 30 days. You can do vision boards for, for whatever you want to do them for. They can be for a week, a month, 3 months, 6 months, a year. But I chose to do mine for 30 days. And I have 4 main goals. And at the top, I don't know what stage, left or right it is, but you'll see work-life balance. That's my main goal, is to have work-life balance. And the quote, it says, it's basically about not making. I can't see it because it's too small, but it's basically about not. It's about prioritizing what's important and not just prioritizing your goals, basically. So that's my that is one of my goals. And my for at the bottom that my second main goal for well, let me start with in the middle. Let me start in the middle.
Yeah, get to the
So
meat. I want to
the
understand about your
the
horses.
horses, the horses, yeah, I figured the horses represent freedom, and it's freedom from a lot of a freedom from looking at my astrology chart and everything. This time of the year is really important for me to let go of past habits and past mindsets that held me back. So the horses to me represent freedom. The water represents emotion. So freedom from, emotions that could have held me back and could have held me back. But I'm really focusing on freedom from just things that have held me back. Not, the things that are reoccurring, like not like temporary things that you just realize, oh, this, I think this is holding me back, but like things that have been holding me back for decades. And so the horses to me represent freedom. That's what this whole moon in Capricorn cycle means to me. And when I say moon in Capricorn, like some people start their goals from the beginning of the month, so the first of the month until the end of the month. But I set my goals and manifest around the cycles of the moon. So the new
Yes.
moon was in Capricorn. Um, so the whole theme for the month to me is in alignment with the moon in Capricorn. So the moon in Capricorn to me, my Capricorn is in my second house, and it has a lot to do with money and self worth. So that's what leads me to what you see at the bottom of work life balance is um, sales growth and more money. So increase sales is one of my main goals for the next 3 weeks. For me, increase sales, and you see like me, and it has a lot to do with me. It has a lot to do with accepting my worth, knowing my worth, accepting it,
Oh wow.
and tracking my sales, growing my sales. That's what this whole section is. And
Awesome.
I like this picture. Like, first of all, I have a complaint. People aren't creating enough beautiful pictures because, like, I wanted
That's
to
what I
feel
said.
my, I
Yes.
wanted to feel my thing up with like a beautiful pictures, like artistry, like artwork, and I'm like, y'all are not creating. I think it must be up to me. I'm gonna create some like beautiful business branding means. Like, I want artwork. I want what they call Basquiat. I want some Basquiat means for
Uh
branding and business, because I just did not find enough. Okay, but
Goals.
I'm off of that because that was like,
Awesome.
where is the beautiful pictures? The
Business
horses
stuff is
is my
always
favorite one.
very business stuff is always very corporate looking. Anytime I look
I
up like
know,
business stuff, it's always corporate stuff. It's nothing that's like, ooh, this
right?
touches me. It's always like, okay, I
It's
guess.
so it's so cold,
It's,
but
I
yeah,
guess it's businessy business.
right. Yeah, but so yeah, increasing sales is one of my main goals for this month. And I really like the quote. I don't Okay, I can't make it bigger. What does it say? Oh,
Let me see if I can make it. Hold on. Is that a little better?
okay, goals. Oh Lord, I'm gonna do the pass to take off the glasses thing. Uh Great salespeople are relationship builders who provide value and help their customers win.
I like
And that's my motivation for myself, to tell myself as far as sales. Like, I don't want to be trying to increase my sales just thinking about money. I want to
That's
really
right.
provide value for my customers. I want us both to win, not just me. So
Yeah.
that helps me focus, because a lot of people, especially like spiritual people or people that just want to share their gifts with the world, they'll it's hard. The sales thing is kind of hard, because you don't want to be like a sleazy salesman
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. But just knowing that, no, you're selling what you're selling because you know it's going to provide value, and you know it's going to help your customers win. So it's nothing to feel bad about. Because if you think that if you feel bad about selling what you're selling, then you need to relook at what you're selling, because you shouldn't feel bad about it. You should feel happy to know that. I don't know what fell in my eye just now, but you should feel
It looked like it
happy.
was something heavy.
In the name of Jesus. Rebuke
Golly.
it.
But you should be happy and proud about what you're selling, your services or your products. So you
Mm-hmm.
should know that they are going to provide value to people. Um,
Yeah.
so on the top where I have this this 50-year-old transformation, one of
Okay.
my main
Is it
goals that
the bodybuilder and the lady?
right.
Okay.
Right.
Oh,
Her
okay.
name
I see it.
is Melissa, I believe. I've been watching her videos for about a year, and
I'd
she's
be happy
over
with her
50. I think
before.
she's like 55. I think she's
I'd be
like
happy with her
55.
before, to be honest.
Huh?
I'll be happy with her before, to be honest.
Yeah, she's like 55, and she was going through menopause and still found a way to lose weight and get toned. She's actually a bodybuilder. And so I follow her, and that's my goal. I don't want to look like a bodybuilder, but just that a
Yeah.
huge transformation is what I'm looking for when it comes to my physical appearance. And so that's a goal. And being 40, it's like, your metabolism slows down, and the things that you did to lose weight when you were younger, you can't do the same things when you're over 40. You gotta know your body as
Yeah.
a 40-year-old, 50-year-old woman, so that's really an inspiration to me. And the last goal is mindset, because um changing a lot of mindsets around, like I said before, the new moon being in Capricorn, in my D1 or my birth chart, the new moon is in my second house. My second
Yes.
house represent it has a lot to do, like I said, with money and self-worth. And so changing my mind, and also my eighth house of transformation, and the things that the eighth house represents, change my mindset around those two, the areas of my life that those two houses represent. That's another focus that I have for the for this new moon cycle. And when the new moon goes to a whole nother zodiac sign, which is Aquarius, then I'll have a whole new goals. But
Rattling in the background, really rattling.
I know Johnson trying to give me my food. They trying to come in here and get their food. They're like, no, I want this Chinese food.
No.
Where's my
Wait,
lucky star?
what y'all got to eat? What y'all got to eat?
You did the mom snap. You did the mom
Oh,
hush
y'all
last
heard
week.
that?
Now you did the mom snap.
Yes.
That's like what she did the other week when she was like, shh, we was all like, oh.
Hush.
I was like, oh, I'm sorry. What will I do? I'm sorry, Nina.
No, when I start going, well, sorry,
Oh
what's
my
that?
gosh. And I've done that. I don't have children, but I've done that, and I know I got that from mom. That throat cluck. And I've done that to all, and they know. Hey, yo.
Yeah. So those are my main four goals. And Minister Leah asked me, one of the assignments was to talk about manifestation, and like I said,
I don't want to
manifest
interrupt.
how I
Are you done? Are you done with your
yeah.
vision board? You're not gonna talk about the heart cash?
The what?
You're gonna talk about heart cash? The cash heart?
What
The
do you
money
see
heart?
that at? Oh
It's
yeah,
$100.
it's self worth. It's self worth and self love.
Oh,
Just
okay.
changing my mindset. That's why I was saying, just making sure that my mindset is where it needs to be when it comes to what I'm worth, what my value is. And yeah, I really like that picture. It's not as beautiful as I like it's not as I want it.
I know.
But but it
I
just
will say, look, yeah, looking at your board, my favorite because I'm, I don't get into that because I ain't got there yet. But the "You Are Enough" 1,000 times. Oh,
I like that. I like
that
that
got
one.
in my feels. That got
yeah.
in my. I was like, "Don't you cry, Angie? Don't you cry."
Yeah. Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, I gotta put that on there because at first I went past it like, but it was like yelling at me like, yes, and yeah, that's the my second house where that represents self love and self value, self worth, and just
Yeah,
knowing, because a lot of the times we think that we just need to know something, we need to learn something else, we need to know something else, we need to do something else to get what we deserve, but we already
yeah.
are enough, you know. And so that's what I want to remind myself of.
That one stood out to me like a lot. So yeah, but yeah, I'll let you next. Your next.
Okay,
Um,
yeah, I'm manifesting.
you got it. Manifesting. I know that's one of the words my teeth and lips and tongue be like, nah, not today, son.
so so with manifesting, like I said, I manifest with the phases of the moon. So so it starts with the new moon. The new moon comes, then I'm looking for what do I need to let go of, what do I need to start, what do I need to begin. A lot of reflection. What did I learn from the last month, and how can I create goals and intentions with this next month or the next moon phase that's going to help me reach my overall goals. So that's what happens on the new moon. After I've done reflecting on the new moon, then when it comes to the first quarter moon, then I have a lot more clarity on what I need to do to move forward, what I need to do to accomplish my goals. And so I'm working on accumulating my resources to move forward. And my resources could be, what do I need to do to make sure my mind is in the right place that it needs to be to reach my goals? What do I need to do to make sure that I'm physically able, I'm spiritually able? What do I'm making sure that, what do I need to learn? Who do I need to learn from? Things like that during the first quarter moon. Okay. Then the full moon, I know I'm going to have some type of answers, some type of clarity, some type of clarity on the intentions that I set during the new moon, you know.
Mhm.
So that's 2 weeks. The full moon is 2 weeks just around about after the new moon. And so I know that I've got some download, some inspiration, some clarity, some direction on what I need to do, and what I asked for the new moon. And so I'm still moving forward towards that. I'm being grateful for the downloads, the messages that God's given me, um, for those 2 weeks, and then I'm moving forward. And I'm also releasing anything else, anything that needs to be released during the full moon. That things that I've learned um, during these 2 weeks that or maybe emotions that I've built up. I'm releasing those things. I'm releasing things that are going to help me move forward. And the last quarter moon, I'm doing even more of the same thing. I'm doing more of the same. I know what my goal is, and I've been working on it for about 3 weeks now. And now that I know what my goal is, I've been working on it for 3 weeks. I know what has not been working. If you're aware and if you're paying attention, you know what's not working and what's holding you back from reaching that goal. that's when you say, uh whatever is not, whatever is keeping me from reaching this goal that I've been working on for 3 weeks, God help me to let it go. It could be addictions, it could be bad habits, it could be bad thought patterns, but you're releasing and letting go whatever's keeping you from reaching your goals. And then you start back again on the new moon and reflecting and asking God, okay, I'm continuing to let go what's not helping me, but I'm also looking forward to what do I do now to keep moving forward to um, where I need to be. So those are the 4 cycles of the moon. That it's actually more cycles, but I focus on those four: the new moon, the first quarter moon, the full moon, and the last quarter moon. And so, did somebody say something?
Mm-mm.
And
Really? Sean.
and being mindful that what makes things manifest, for good or for bad, is your mouth, the things that you say, your mind, the things that you think, your emotions, what you feel, and your actions. That's what makes things manifest, for good or for bad. So when you are when all those things are in alignment, then you're manifesting at a very powerful level, especially when you're in alignment with astrology, because that's what I follow. So I try to make all those things line up with what's going on in the sky. But you also have to be responsible, because like I said, you can make those things manifest in a positive way, or you can manifest in a not so positive way. And they call that witchcraft. But I'm gonna leave that alone. um Minister Leah also asked me to talk about our 50 things that Pastor Bernadette has been asking us. Has it been a year or 2 years? I know she's been telling us about this for a while, at least a year.
Yeah.
And yeah. So they were talking about how they wrote down. I think she said it was more than 500 things that they wrote down, and it was one night they just wrote down a whole bunch of things that they wanted to have, that they wanted to manifest, and they just looked over it over a period of time and realized that those things were happening. And so Pastor Bernadette asked us to do the same thing, write down 50 things that you want to manifest, that you want to accomplish. And so for me, a lot of it is personal. So the things that I wanted to share were in my vision board. But I just wanted to ask you guys, what did you want to share from your 50 things?
I'm going to share mine when I get to my vision board.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you to not.
Really? Really? I see jaws and teeth happening. I see jaws and teeth. Is it good at least? Is it Chinese food?
Egg rolls and red sauce. I told John, I was like, I need some egg rolls and some crab rangoon. You don't even understand how serious
I'm over here.
this is right now.
I'm over here talking.
It's so serious.
So your 50 things, Shani?
With egg rolls and red sauce. And the crab rangoon.
Yeah, what I was saying was a lot of them are personal, and the ones that I felt like I could share were in my vision board.
Okay. Well, that's fine then.
Oh my!
Eating on set.
It's mukbang.
It's mukbang. We all do it. We all
Yeah.
mukbanging. You can't mukbang for the rest of us. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
I don't even eat until after the show on Friday. She doing some mukbang.
I guess I'll go if Chantilly is done.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead, Anthony. You go ahead and do your vision board.
Okay. Okay. So this is my vision board.
Ooh.
Let's see if I can.
Right.
Okay. So this is my vision board. I put some effort in. I put a little effort.
Mine feels so.
So,
you're gonna put mine up. That's all right.
Right.
That's why I share mine, because I say I don't trust y'all not to steal that. So the first thing from the left to the right. So the first thing on top, I have a new YouTube channel, and so I want to get more subscribers. That's not obviously the ultimate goal, but 2 million subscribers. So that's what that is on my channel. So there's more subscribers with that. I have hair. I have shoes. I have clothes and jewelry. I want to I want to increase my wardrobe and change out my wardrobe and just reset everything to this a new look that's my style. Which the older I've gotten, I've realized what I like in fashion is very androgynous, just because I like mixing what quote unquote female male looks, like a suit with skirt. I just like those looks for me. I have a cruise ship. I want to go on a cruise very soon, before I'm 40. I have, between these wigs and the lady in the yellow and pink sweater, I have a first class seating in an airplane. I've never flown first class. I want to fly first class before I'm 40. Pastor Bernadette mom just asked, what does androgynous mean? If people don't know what it means, androgynous generally just means you don't know, especially when it comes to fashion. I'm not gonna talk about anything else. It's if you've ever seen a model who is, you're not sure if you're looking at male or female. They're not dressed one way or the other. They don't look one way or the other. It's just almost a neutral. They mix a lot of looks. It's nothing that's one thing.
Yeah, between 1980 and 1985, that's androgynous.
Yes.
For real. Androgynous
Madonna.
is
Just say Madonna.
Androgynous is the guy that passed that was married to the
Iman?
model.
Yeah.
Because I was just about to say him, because I just watched Labyrinth a couple days ago.
David Bowie. David Bowie is androgynous.
Mm-hmm.
He is not one thing or the other when it comes to fashion. I ain't talking about sexuality and nothing else. I ain't going to that. But I want to fly first class before I'm 40. Oh, more hair. This lady right here. I really liked her look. With the platinum wig and makeup. So getting more into modeling. I want to get back into that and getting all that and just having fun and going further with that. My clothes and shoes. And then this lady right here in the pink blazer. This was part fashion and part getting more fit. And her, I already know that's how I'm going to be looking and feeling, that smile she has in the pink blazer when I get to the way that I want to be. So that's kind of what that was more of like, when I get to the side, my next goal, that's me. More likes, subscribes, everything like that on all the socials connected with my new channel. And the last by the Blue Heels, which were cute. I just had to get the Blue Heels. My favorite
They
color
are
is blue.
cute.
Had to get them. Is an Escalade because that is my ultimate car.
Not an Escalade.
It's got to be the Escalade. My ultimate car I want to get. No matter what nobody says, I've heard people tell me you can just get that bit. I want to Escalade. I want to hear. I've heard all kind of car people tell me you don't need an Escalade. You did that. I want to Escalade. I don't want to hear about how it's an overpriced version of this, that, and the other. Angelique gonna whip an Escalade. So these were just kind of the some of the things. If I made a bigger vision board or more vision boards, obviously be more things, but I kind of didn't want to be on here for hours showing y'all 10, 20
Yeah.
different vision boards of different levels of my life. So that's kind of that's where I am with that. And it is, isn't it? It's amazing. It is. It's wonderful. And I was supposed to talk about faith over fear in my 50 things. Are you specifically faith over fear when it comes to me?
Just how you use faith over fear and bringing to pass your vision and goals.
Okay. So I'll start with faith over fear and go to my some of the 50. Y'all ain't gonna get on my 50 because some stuff ain't for
What?
y'all.
You holding back your 50 things?
Some stuff is for Jesus. It ain't for you.
Oh gosh.
But I would say using faith over fear is really just been, you can't be in faith and be in fear. You can't have both. So you have to I have to constantly work on make sure I don't have any type of fear. Even something you don't realize is fear, it could be connected to that, So just really making sure that, if I'm believing in something, I'm not putting belief in it and with caveats. Like, I believe I'm going to have this, but if I don't have it by this day, no, that's not, you already canceled out whatever you've been believing for. So really just making sure that I'm really believing in pure faith. That's just believe it's done. Believe you when you're asking for it, you're believing for it, you're confessing for it. That's it. It's not if this doesn't happen, this and that. If I don't, it's if you believing for it, you believing for it. It's not any if doubts. It's not any other caveats. It's not anything else. It's just that one thing only, and you just believe it till it manifests. So really just working on that, and it's like it's work.
Yes.
It is work. It's not something that you just kind of throw off, and it's really being aware of your mind and what you're thinking. Like you don't like when you have to like when you like really turn your faith and like turn your ear into yourself and really pay attention to what you're thinking and what you're gonna be like, oh, okay, no, that was some doubt.
Yeah.
So it's really just making sure you're just thinking the same thing and speaking the same thing. Even if sometimes you have to start over because you messed up. you thought you was good to go, and it's like, oh no, you gotta start back over because you threw in too much doubt and everything else with that. So it's really just and then going back and looking what has manifested, because some things has manifested I didn't even realize till I go back and look at my lists and things, and I'm like, oh, what happened? That happened.
Yes.
So that's really, and I'm able to talk to my pastors in house. So really just being able to talk to them and really listen to what they teach and use what they teach. Don't just be in there and being like, no, like use what I'm taught. And if I need to ask questions about it, and what scripture, what should I be saying, what should I be praying, how should I, that all that kind of stuff is really what I do especially when I'm really trying to burrow down and drill down into one thing I'm really trying to believe for, like just really make sure I'm saying the same things, because sometimes I think I'm right. I've thought I've been writing. It's like no, that's not. Shouldn't be saying that. But when it comes to my 50, mm, some of the 50 things, um, it's been like losing 50, 50 pounds in a year. And some of this is a mix of what I've, church, and also Chantilly helps explaining. I forgot exactly what it was, but making sure your goals are, I don't know if it was attainable, not attainable. That's not what I'm thinking about. But just making sure your goals are like,
Achievable.
there it is. There it is. Both of those, realistic and
Mhm.
achievable. You don't want to just say, "Oh, I want to lose, 200 pounds," and okay, well, maybe don't start with 200.
You ain't lost 5.
Like because you're gonna the first time you gain a few pounds, you're gonna be like, "Well, never mind." So start, work somewhere and then work from there. So like, I lose 50 pounds in a year. You know, I've so far I've lost about 5 pounds in a month. So hey, yay! I'm like, yay! Whatever it is, like a pound is a pound is a pound.
5 pounds is a lot of
you know,
weight. If you hold 5 pounds,
yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's a weight.
exactly. And a lot of that is,
Mhm.
it helped with changing my diet and not. It really is a mindset when you get into a healthy mindset, not a diet mindset. I've learned is thinking of a way. Don't punish yourself
Mhm.
for doing something you shouldn't do, or if you gain a pound, because
Right.
you that's just you're not helping. So it's just really just doing that and just okay. I gained 2 pounds from last time I weighed. Keep going. Don't even think about it. Keep moving. It just keep
Right.
going until you get to the goal you want to be. To be financially independent is one of mine. To be wealthy. Um, my car repainted royal blue with a chrome package, whatever car I have currently at that time, because it could be the one I have, it could be another one. uh, uh, Completely healed and healthy. That's something, just I don't talk, it's not a secret, but I'm like I was born with eczema. I never claim it, but I was born with eczema. So just to make that's one of the things I'm just like, I want it completely gone. It is a lot better than it was, especially my sisters and my mom know. It used to be horrible. It used to be really bad.
Mhm.
So just having it's a lot of people don't know I have it because it's so much more mild than it used to be.
Yeah.
Um, Ease of
Yes.
flexibility and increased stamina. That one, I need to put a star on that one actually. That actually started manifesting. Um, y'all don't even know about that one. Y'all know y'all. That's how between me and Jesus. To be a published writer, y'all know about that. That's between me and Jesus. Jesus know. He know. He got it. Um, a professional writer, unlimited imagination. That's one of the ones. Just because to write, I have to be able to imagine. I have to be able
Mhm.
to create the stories I want to write and have more stories and not be able to like burn myself out on one story and it's like, oh, all right, another thing. So
Mhm.
that's one of them. I'm not gonna go through all because it's actually more than 50. So I'm not
No,
obviously
just
not
do
gonna go
whatever you're
through
comfortable with.
one through one. I'm not gonna go through one of y'all. Be around night. Oh, another one I wrote was to meet and exceed work goals. That one was completed without, and I didn't even realize it. And I keep getting new projects at work. I keep getting, and I never talk. They actually have me writing ad copy now at work.
Oh, okay.
So that's something I do now at work, and they keep asking me to do different projects and stuff, constantly at work. So that's something. Um, to have no unhealthy habits. I think I'm going to say no unhealthy eating habits, but I might have said no unhealthy habits. I'm not sure. But the that's helped because every day now we have fruit salads and fruit smoothies. So that is going towards that of just having more healthy habits. I've cut back on how much sugar I even want to have. Like I can have a pack of cookies in the house and it takes me weeks to even go through. And it's just I don't even want them like I used to. So that's I see that's happening. It's not gonna I don't. It's it's so just like, okay, you changed. You don't need that. You don't need the sugar anymore. So that's helping to stop procrastinating. That's something I'm still working on, but it has changed. To start working out at least 2 to 3 days a week. The Lord is helping my spirit. To work on my goals daily. That's something I've started back the beginning of this year, and it does make a difference to write down what you want to do, what you need to do, everything like that. It does help to have a schedule and writing down everything. So and the journal every day. That's something I started back to. Those are some of the ones for my 50, and
Awesome.
just is everything is not going to be what some people consider major. Like everything's not going to be. I want $1 million. But something is just going to be small. Quick. Some people think are small things that are just you just need to make changes and corrections and do tweaks in your life you want to do. So
Right.
it's just I constantly add to it. And if I think of something, I'll write something down. So it's just it's good to look at it. It's good to go back and look at it because even with the financial thing, I'm not going to tell you where it is exactly. I'm going to tell you what it is, but I'm not going to tell you where it is. But even today, I checked something and found out. I wouldn't say found out. I think I hadn't checked on it and thought about it, and I was like, something told me to check it today. I have a significant amount of money in my IRA that I just hadn't checked in over a year,
Awesome.
maybe. So it's just so it's something you just need to look and it's like, well, that's more finances. Obviously, I
Right.
can't just cash out the money from your IRA. You shouldn't, but it's just this is money is that's one thing that's on my list is money is drawn to me easily and frequently, and so it's just like it's money places that I have that I just might not think about, and it's the saving and all that kind of stuff it helps with places money places that you're not gonna look at all the time
Right.
because that is like that's not an account check I have to look at like help me grow it because I'm not looking at it. It's just something I check when I check. So you know that's even part of my I say 50, but it's more than 50.
All right. I'm ready for mine.
You ready for yours? All
Wonderful.
right.
Oh, man.
Let me get to it. Let me get to it. Let me
Cute
get to
is
it.
Angelique's. I almost don't want to put it up. It's inferior.
I know, right? Like she went and said she
No,
told me she was done, but didn't share with nobody. Now I'm like,
I
can you put
know.
mine up?
I thought y'all was gonna be like mine, so I didn't think nothing about it. I was like, oh, they got
Mhm.
one. They got one too. Here y'all go. Here it
Mhm.
is. It's fine. Renee, Shana, y'all
Yeah.
acting like y'all just put up a board with one picture in the middle talking about here's my vision board.
Okay, so this is my vision board.
No, you say it with pride and enthusiasm and passion.
Start that over. This is my blah blah blah. Rewind.
It ain't having that today. Say it with pride and confidence.
And
She's gonna make you get up
enthusiasm.
and say it into the mirror in a minute.
You is
That
fine. You
sketch on
is
Saturday Night
fine. Pride.
Live
You
with
is
the guy used to
disappointed.
do. That sketch on Saturday Night Live of what you used to do. Look in the mirror.
Exactly. Come on now. You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. Come on. Come on.
Okay. Um. So I have I guess starting from the middle. Well, I use my picture on it just because I want to always be
Oh, before you go,
inspiring
I want it,
myself.
but it's gonna start left to right if people watching it. So if you just want you know.
Okay. Um. So I used
Okay.
my own image as a girl boss and as a CEO because I felt like Chantilly, like there was no good images. I personally felt like there were no good professional images, and there were no good images
No.
of Black professionals. So I had to use myself. I was forced to use myself, y'all. I'm sorry.
You didn't have no other options. You had to use yourself.
I had to use myself.
You had to use me.
So in the upper corner, I have that I'm in the first quote I have is inspiring leader, because in everything that I do, I want to inspire people in everything that I do. Whether it's arts, whether it's me speaking, no matter what, I just want to inspire people. That's just my mantra in life. And then next I have the director's chair, because I'm stepping back in the director's chair as far as me directing, writing, producing musicals. I just needed that image. And then I have I didn't want a picture of money, because to me, I wanted this the dollar sign, because for me it's just total currency, then increase in finance, increase in investing, increase in money. So it's just the total money sign for me is what I chose. So me going up and increasing in all of my finances and currency is what the dollar bill represents. And then, I am a CEO. I'm a girl boss. I don't actually like the term girl boss, but I couldn't find anything else that really represented what I wanted to say. I have a picture of me modeling, because I'm going back into modeling, a paid model. And beneath that, I have the caption "Successful Woman." Underneath that, you have the logos of all of my businesses, excluding BD Cat. I didn't have the new logo for that one, but I have our logo for the podcast. This is what a fighter looks like. Daughters of Fire and Black Diamond Global LLC. There's a picture of a woman speaking. There's not a lot of Black women speaking. Did you notice that, Shani?
Yeah.
There's not a lot of
There's
Black
not a lot of pictures of Black, and there's not a lot of pictures of Black women speaking before crowds. Like I wanted a picture of a woman speaking in front of a large group of people, and there wasn't. So
Yeah.
it's a picture of a white woman speaking. I'm sorry, y'all, that's not me. I
don't
really
see her.
wanted
I don't see her.
a picture of that, but that's me as a motivational speaker, and I needed a picture of a woman in front of a large group of people. But that's
I'm going to imagine she has a blonde wig and a bun, and then it's a
I want to be debt free, and so I use the debt freedom caption. I have the life coach emblem. I am a certified life coach, but I'm in school now to be a transformational life coach. Because they can do more, they can go more, and they can charge more.
Yeah. You give people a transformation.
Yeah. I've actually had more than one prophet speak over my life that I actually already am that, but I just need the certification for that. That I just speak that into people's lives already. And I believe that, but I just want the certification for it. I saw that she's unstoppable, and I had to put that on there because I just think that's just me in my life. So I have the two different images of dancers. The one in the black just looks more like the liturgical dancer, and the image above it, because I want to start having pictures of me, photographic pictures of me dancing. That's something I've wanted to do for years, is have an actual book of my dances photography. So I'm gonna start having different photographers take pictures of me in movement throughout this year. And then I have the say yes to new adventures with the airplane, because I plan to do more traveling. And then I have the healthy life, because it's more than just eating and diet for me. It's just changing my lifestyle. And then for me, everything is about sparkle and bling, and everything about Leya shines. So I had to have that L that sparkle. Those are my
I
goals,
love
and
I love that L. That L made me wish I had to put an A on mine.
I had to. I had to get that, but those are my goals, and I probably when Shawnee said she did hers for 30 days, I thought I probably should have put a time limit on mine, but I looked at the whole. For me, that's throughout the whole year, but I think that 6 months for most of mine, um, 6 months to a year, but that is my goal for 2023. And I plan to have achieved most of those by the end of the year. Um, I want to briefly speak on purpose before we turn it over to Mom. And when I think about achieving your goals in your vision, all of this is about what's inside of you and passionately pursuing your purpose. And one of our dear friends who is now transitioned to glory is Dr. Miles Monroe, and he often would say that the wealthiest place in the world is the graveyard because it's full of people with purpose. Be the people who have had the most inside of them, who have wanted to do the most and not done it. And so, as a very young person, um, it was just really put inside of us to pursue what was inside of us and to go after it, and not to let dreams be dreams, but to make them goals, and to be ambitious. And so everything in my life has been what is inside of you and get it out of you. And I have lived my life going after my purpose. And I have enjoyed that. And so I want to encourage you all, your purpose is the reason the reason that you exist. And a lot of times people will say to me, I don't know why I'm here. But a lot of times you do know why you're here. And you've known that since you were a child. It's the very thing that motivates you, the very thing that drives you. And it's the very thing that a lot of times you innately do. And it's the thing that comes the easiest to you, the thing that you think about the most, the thing that you're the most passionate about. And if that's dance, if that's singing, if it's a natural talent, if it's gardening, no matter what it is, you know why you're on this earth. So you just need to pour yourself into doing it, and everything isn't what we would think a grandiose thing to do. My sister Angelique has always been a technical person. She's always been the person that has always understood the workings of computers, from how all of the alarms on our cars have worked, just how phones work, everything. That's always been her, and that's what she's on this earth to do. She's been, all three of us have ran the sound in our church. But Angelique is the sound technician. She's the one who gets it, who's just always understood it. She's that's what God has put her on this earth to do, right? So while all of us understand the knobs and the volume, she understands the technicality of the board and how it functions and why it works. And so we understand what she's on this earth to do. Right. And so I understand that I'm on this earth. Like, one of the things God created me for is creativity and artistically. I think artistically, I move artistically, I breathe artistically. Like, my mind just works that way. And so when I try to get away from it, it draws to me. And when I'm not dealing with dance and the arts, I'm working with kids. When I don't want to work with kids want to work with me. And my mom is here. She can tell you, when I'm like, I am done working with kids. I'm only gonna say this a couple times this year now. I'll be 45 in 3 months, so I'm getting a little bit older.
So you 40, you be 45. Shall be 40? I don't understand the math because I only be 25.
Yeah, okay, stop that. Now, we're not. My kids are grown. I'm feeling like I put my time in. And when I was younger, I could get on the floor, roll around with the little kids, and do all the stuff with kids. My my bones don't work like they used to work. My joints don't work my attention span ain't what it used to be. But I promise you, if I walk outside my front door right now, kids will be in my front yard just because I'm in my front yard. I can be in the grocery store and kids like my hair, kids like my fingernails, kids like my dimples. They will find a reason to come talk to me. So I understand why I'm on this earth, and whatever you're on this earth to do, fall in love with it, because God gave it to you. God gave you that purpose. And even though I could work with 10 other people that work with kids, there's a unique way that God gave me to work with kids. I work with dancers all the time, but I can work with 10 other people who dance, but there's a unique way that God gave me to dance. And it's a unique way that God gave me to teach dance. I teach dancers, I mentor dancers. But because God gave it to me to lead and teach, then I understand that this is my purpose. It may not be everybody else's purpose. I work with dancers all the time, and I can promise you, it ain't everybody's purpose. It ain't the reason why all of us are here. And I can tell when it's somebody's purpose and when it's not. So when it's your purpose, then pour yourself into it. Pour yourself into it. Give yourself to it. And when you give yourself to it, it will give itself back to you. It will give itself back to you in reward. It will give itself back to you in doors opening. It will give itself back to you financially. It will give itself back to you in every way that you need it to, and you will grow from that. So that's what I wanted to share with you in purpose. And anytime that I come away from my life's purpose, I am so unhappy. I am so literally miserable. And so I've learned to just stay in my life's purpose. Some of my 50 things are to have a touring musical, to write, direct, and produce a Broadway musical, to model in a national print ad, to be a published author, which I have achieved multiple times, to be a best-selling author, to travel at my leisure, to be totally debt-free, to be able to bless my children financially, to be able to bless when I did this, I didn't even have grandchildren yet. To be able to bless my grandchildren.
No, when you did this, I was not a great aunt.
To have multiple profitable investment accounts, to be totally cancer-free, to own my own successful magazine, to design my own women's shoe line. If I'm aware, I might as well design them. To own my own cosmetics line. Have started working on my own cosmetics line. To own my own hairline. To be happily married. To vacation on a private yacht. If I'm gonna be on a yacht, I'd rather just be by myself. Go on vacation with my children. To host National Dance Ministry Conference. To purchase a Tesla, that's my dream car. To own my own home, to have an office building space, to house all of my businesses and dance studio, to have all of my social media monetized, to become fluent in French again. I used to be fluent in French, believe it or not.
You really were.
Now.
I used to love it. I used to love when Daddy's had you come up and speak French. I'd be like, ooh.
So what the tone for my work. A couple of these things I personally.
That's what it sounded like to me when I was little. It sounded pretty, but it sounded like.
I'm gonna cap it off right there. But some of those are things because I think so grand, and that's part of my life's purpose. I understand part of my life's purpose is so much for people. And so it is to give my life away and to touch other people's lives. And so I'll give you one of my other ones. It is to learn how to play chess. And I was supposed to do that during this darn pandemic.
I've seen you on that one.
Do it.
We might be going back into. Y'all gonna make this.
I'm feeling kind of pandemic. So I'm gonna get on this YouTube.
Get swirly. So we try to avoid
Beyonce's internet. and I'm gonna learn this
It,
chess. But
but
having said
if
that,
YouTube acts squirrely, I'm just saying. So I'm trying to avoid certain words. But
I'm
we
trying to
might be
say,
going into another
yeah,
panning in
I
South
said,
Carolina.
you know,
So
okay,
we
get
might
on
me and
Obama's
you
internet. We
we
gonna learn it. Having
we might
said
need to do
that,
some virtual chess. Do some
having said
virtual
that,
root to
I'm gonna turn this over to
night 4.
Mom.
I don't know.
And now that we have talked about our visions, our goals, and our dreams, let's get financially well. We're gonna turn it over to you, Mom.
Angelique's computer, and I'm so happy. I wanted you all to see these sparkles on my head thing. And see, now
Oh, they
I'm in
so
the light and you can
sparkly.
see it. I'm so happy about that. Right. All right. Now I can show you this too. I
Oh,
used
okay.
to have a vision board. I had to go to a vision book. My vision
Okay.
book ended up turning into my planner. I have something on all of those pages, and I'm telling you, the whole thing about this, look at it all the time, check off what's being done, and make sure you celebrate what has happened. And constantly adjust what it is that you have. Okay, since I don't know how much was missed and how much was gone
Almost
over,
everything from the beginning, unfortunately.
take it back from the top.
If you don't mind.
Okay. I have to
Oh,
put
you
on
didn't.
headphones and mess up my Oh, Lord.
We got people who was paying
Only-
attention. They want it all from the beginning.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Take it from the bridge. Okay. Okay. Now here is one of the things that I do all the time. And by the way, I am the mother of these lovely ladies, but you can reach me at Doctors Dwight and Bernadette Elijah on Facebook. You can reach me at The Power of Health and Healing on Facebook, Becoming a House of Prayer on Facebook, and so many other ways on Facebook and other ways. But here's our personal business number, 843-896-2730. That's for anybody. It's going to take your message and we'll get with you ASAP. So here is one of the things. I'm talking about wealth, but I cannot talk about wealth without talking about health. All right?
All right.
So health is so important. Your weight goals. I've lost 16 pounds without really, really trying.
Mm-hmm.
Exercise goals, eating lifestyle, vitamins, minerals, and herbs, and a sleep pattern. Not just staying up till you fall out, but actually having a pattern of sleep. And I know a lot of people don't get enough sleep, and maybe some of you all don't get enough sleep. You have to actually plan your sleep like you plan what you're going to eat, because your body needs to heal, but it cannot heal right without sleep. So
Right.
a lot of people say, I would like to change my eating patterns, but it's too expensive to get what I need. I would like to get all the vitamins, minerals, and herbs that I need, but it's too expensive. But here's the thing. If you write down everything that you want and desire, these must cease being a dream or a goal, and they have to become a plan to be achievable. Where is the plan? And where is the time management to make this happen? Some of this, honestly, I heard from Chantilly. She does wonderful with business health planning and management, because at one time I was like, I got all these things I want to do, and how can I get them done? She said, Mom, you got to do it in bite-sized pieces. She said, if you do nothing but do 5 minutes of something, you're further ahead than if you keep saying, I'm going to do it and don't do it at all. And do
Right.
you know that's true? If
Yes.
you say, I'm only going to give 5 minutes a day to working on my YouTube channel, I'm going to learn something different every day, which my goal now, I'm going to start, or have started something brand new, but I don't just want to start it. I want to get to my 4,000 watch hours, my 1,000 subscribers, because I need it to be monetized. I don't have a lot of free time. So I wouldn't do that for fun. I have to do it to bring in more income to fund the things I want to do. So it cannot just be a dream. cannot just be a goal. I can't just be on chit chatting if something's not going to pop off. Okay.
Right.
So I have to give a few minutes every day to learning something new about how to make that happen. Right. And I'm further down the line than saying, okay, I've been saying this for 2 years and I haven't done anything. So that's how this works with everything. Is it more expensive to buy your vitamins, minerals, and herbs, to change your eating lifestyle to produce and fruit instead of being off work, being unable to do business, going into the hospital, having all kinds of surgeries and things done to your body? Perspective, it's not more expensive. So how do you accumulate everything little by little with a plan? And then this is what a lot of people do. I've got all kind of vitamins, minerals, and herbs. They don't take them.
Right.
Okay, these things sound so simple, but I'm saying go over everything and make sure you check it out. Okay? Did everybody hear me say you need to get Chat GPT?
Yes.
Yes.
If you don't know what Chat GPT is, you need to get it. And I found out when the Chat GPT servers were down, there are so many free things just like it. What it does for copywriting, for posting, for writing books, it takes what you're asking. You can give it a simple prompt, ask a simple question, because the name of everything is buy back your time. It would take me days, weeks, months, or even a year or two to write a book. I could write a book now. I could write a book in one day with ChatGPT. You give it a prompt. Give me a script for a book on the topic of the Holy Spirit. In seconds, it spits out to you all of these ideas, maybe 10 ideas for a book on the Holy Spirit. You go back, give it another prompt. Now, give me 10 chapters on that. It's taking your ideas and saving you time. The reason we can't do a lot of things is not desire. It's time.
Yeah.
It's saving you
That's
time.
true.
And then on top of that, there's a lot of image creators. I'm not an artist. You know how long it would take me to come up with an image this time next year. But you can give a prompt. Did you hear the lady saying I was looking for cute pictures? I played around with this the other day. You give it a prompt. You say, I would like a pretty picture with horses and a black lady running through the woods and the horses at the end of it. It's going to spit you out the image you just asked for. It's going to give you
Wow.
as many samples as you want. Then you pick what you want. And some of these are free. I can hook you up with that after. I can give you the plug, okay? All right. Time saving is the name of the game. Saving time is what will save you your money. I'm so glad that you all are hearing me. All right. So let's go to the next one. I'm pushing Leah's vision board.
No, don't do her.
This is Angelique. She said, no, Mom, don't do that. Don't do that. There it is. There it is. All right. So here is the best system we came up with years ago. We said, what is a simple budget that helps you? Here is a bill. What is a bill? Something that can be paid off. A house note can be paid off maybe 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, but it can one day be paid off. A car note can be paid off. 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, but it can be paid off. Now, expenses, a lot of times people call what is an expense, they call it a bill. It's not, it's an expense. When you need gas in your car, do you need gas in your car just one time? Or are you going to keep needing gas in your car as long as you have a car?
As long
You're
as you
going to
have a
always
car.
need it. That's
Yeah.
right. So, purchasing food, you're going to always need to purchase food. That's an expense. Phone bill, you're going to always need to have a phone. You don't pay that one time. Internet bill. So, these are expenses. Bills, then expenses, then savings. For me, Uh, that's 10%. And then invest at least 10%, um, and then tithes, right? Now, you've got to have different types of savings. One savings for emergencies that can be used, right? You've got to have another kind of savings that's for fun. When I said you got to celebrate everything, and my list has a lot of things on it, and some of those things are fun things, right? So, where is the money you set aside to do fun things? Where's the money you set aside for recreation? Where's the money? Every trip that we take, my husband takes care of everything that is bills. My husband takes care of everything that is cars. My husband takes care of everything that is food. He makes sure. He's always wanted to do that. And you know what I do? I let him. I don't cramp a brother. I let him. But listen, the things that are fun, I want to do that. So every trip we take, I make sure that the money is there, plan where we want to go. He likes that. He said, you plan it, I'll go. You plan it, I'll fly. You plan it, I'll ride. And so, but where is that money? I'll tell you what a lot of people do. I'm tired of working all the time. Let's do something fun. So they blow the budget. They blow what was planned. Let's take everything we had this planned for, and we're just going to do something fun. And you know when that fun will end? When you come back from that trip and you have those bills you need to pay. You have those expenses you need to pay. You say, well, that was so much fun. Yeah, I'm trying to remember how much fun it was because we still got all this stacked up.
Right.
How much fun is it if you come back home and you notice the house is very dark? Why is the house so dark? Why is this house so dark? Oh, you didn't pay the electricity bill before we went? You didn't pay. Are you seeing what I'm saying? But
Yes.
the best system is for you to, the name of the game is do it all the time. Don't do things in chunks of money. Put aside something for all of these things all the time. It seems like it's a slow way to go. When people say, I want to lose 50 pounds, and that number stays in your head, you can get to 25 pounds. Do you know people get discouraged because they still just see 50?
Yes.
But if you celebrate every single pound that you lose, you know you're always making progress. So here's the thing with savings. People keep waiting. My question is, what are you waiting for to save? What? What? What are you waiting for to invest? What? If you save $1 every time you get paid, you at least have $52 at the end of, if you get paid every week. You at least have something you didn't have before. But if you keep waiting, you will have nothing saved. If you invest $1 every time you get paid, at the end of a year, you will have something invested that hopefully doubled, tripled, quadrupled. But if you don't invest anything, do you know what you will have invested? Goose eggs, nothing. But you have to count what is happening. You got to learn to live in now. Praise God for now. Rejoice with now. So that's a little of what this is. Start working a simple system. Don't try to do so much at one time, but please do as much of these as you can. And here's another thing that traps people up. I can't save because we have too many bills. Let me ask you something. If you save $5 the next time you get paid, would that $5 pay off all the bills you have? No. But the people who won't save $5, the people who won't invest $5, I promise you, they will eat that $5. Okay. They will blow that $5 on something very small that will, the Bible says it'll be taken into the belly and then into the drought. You know what that means? It's going to pass through your body and you could have made it count. Right?
Yes.
So it's just a matter of practicing, disciplining yourself all the time. And here's the thing about saving. It's going to add up. You say, but if I invest, this is what people say. If I invest, I could lose something. No, that's short-term investing. Long-term investing, when it goes down, if it's good stocks, good cryptos, it's going to come back up. And so you're going to make more money than you ever thought. Just don't have your mind on when I put it in, I got to take it out. When I save, when I put in $5, I got to take out $5. You've got to treat it like it's not there. I know these are simple things, but you have to be reminded to do it to get started. Do you know some of our forefathers, our parents, our grandparents, and our great-grandparents? They didn't trust banks, all of them, but they trusted their envelope. They trusted their coffee can. They trusted between the mattress, and they were faithful to it. They should not be able to save more and do more than we are with all of our knowledge, all of our intelligence. And so I'm asking you again, what are you waiting for? And when are you going to get started? Okay, let's go to the next one.
Do you see it?
When you do that best system,
No. I don't have it.
oh, no wonder. I'm touching the screen and it didn't move. I thought Angelique had a touch screen. I'm on her computer. Okay, there's these definitions. Bills can be paid off and need a target time. This is so important. You've got to assign a time to everything that you want done. If you didn't hear me at first, I work now. I saw that from the Word of God, that God has us working on a 14-day cycle with our faith. Every new moon, I set my goals. I look over what I have. Every full moon, I adjust. Things start manifesting, or I adjust what do I need to do. But no more do I just sit and wait. Some things I take off my list, some new things I put on my list. So I'm really on a 28, 29 day, you could say a 30-day cycle with what I'm looking for. Expenses, food, gas, electricity, phone, and fun. Things that are not really ever paid off. Savings, one for emergency, which means start saving for 3 to 6 months. From every paycheck. Another type savings is a long-term savings. Now keep in mind, you could only be putting $5 in each one of these. And then investments of crypto, gold, and silver. Then tithes, giving something from every paycheck. This scripture right here, Proverbs 27, 23 through 27. No, you're to be on top of, know the state of your flocks, know where everything goes, right? When you get money, you should already know where every dollar is supposed to go. And I don't mean all bills. Train ourselves to do this all the time is the key. It's a regular system, not waiting until you get large sums. Discipline yourself in eating, then you can discipline yourself in spending. If you can discipline yourself so much that you fast sometimes, you can discipline yourself so much that you crash. You can discipline yourself so much that you crash for something. Okay. Meaning you can say, I'm going to put. You all hear the feedback? Okay. You can say, I'm going to put this much in savings, this much in investing, and let that be that. Okay? I need to go to the next one. These dreams and these goals must cease being a dream, cease being a goal, and become a plan. So if you have a list of 50 things you want to do, where is the plan to get there? Let me ask you, what is the amount of money that you want to save? Do you know the number? What is the amount of money you want to invest? Do you know the number? Okay. Let's get into these. Your credit scores should go up as high as possible, as soon as possible. We coach on all of this. We successfully coach some people to take their credit scores from. Are you all hearing the echo? Okay. Angelique, I'm hearing an echo. All right. Take your credit score up as high as possible and as soon as possible. Take your credit cards and start paying them off. This seems like what you know to do, but people don't do it. Get every credit card down to under 10% as soon as possible. You know, when you pay off your credit card, you still have that credit card available for the next things you may need. Pay off the smallest cards first. If you have a credit card that you use, that's, say the limit is $500 on it, and you have a credit card that has thousands on it, which one do you need to pay first? The smallest one. The reason you need to pay the smallest credit card first is your amount that you're using is driving your credit card score very low. So if you have a credit card that has a limit and you've used $400 of that, you're way over your limit. $250 would be 50%, right? You want to get every credit card down under 10%, or that's high usability, right? So get that paid off and your credit score automatically goes up. Pay on, but you want to work on paying off. Pay off loans as soon as possible. Pay them off on time. You got to work on getting the best credit score that you can. If you had an emergency, you would be able to get a loan. You would be able to get another credit card or use the cards you have. When everything is up to the max, your chances of getting a loan or getting another card become narrow, right? You become a higher risk. So this is what I'm telling you, simple things. We coach on these, but you know, I couldn't tell everybody individual things. Listen, just to pay bills, never stop saving. This is the thing people say, I'm waiting because I have bills. And you're probably still going to have some bills, so start saving. Never stop investing. I'm waiting to invest. Why? You can start investing for $1.03 on Cash App. You can invest in stocks on Cash App. Now, I'm telling you what I know. On Cash App, I have 72 stocks I've invested in. That's all I'm going to tell you about it. You can invest in Bitcoin on Cash App. I have 2 accounts just on Cash App. That's not the only platforms I use where I invest just in Bitcoin. You can start off with $1.03 and just do it all the time. I'm asking you again, what are you waiting for to get started? Do you know when the best time to start is?
Now.
These must cease being goals and become plans to be achievable. And everything we've talked about, where is your plan? Okay? Where is your plan to get those things done? Where is it written? So in your dreams, goals, and visions, we have a plan. I'm going to look like this. I'm going to get these eyelashes. I had to go get a different type of makeup. I didn't like what one makeup was doing or how it felt on my skin. And I said, I know when I get to the store, I got to get a different makeup. But where is it written that I'm going to get this credit card down, and then where's the plan to get it down? And when will you start? And where's the plan to invest? And how much will you invest? And you're not going to stop investing this time, right? And you're not going to stop saving this time, right?
Right.
This is the self-talk you need. You say to yourself, I am beautiful. I am smart. Say to yourself, I am an investor. I am a saver. I can do this. Other people save. I'm not different than anybody else. I can save too. Other people invest. I can invest too. And saving is not saving if every time you put money in, you take it all out. That's not saving. That's holding. That's a holding account. I put in $10. I took out $10. I put in $100. I took out $100. You're not saving. You're holding. Okay. All right. Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. Fear and becoming debt free. Here is the fear. I'm going to tell you, that's not even my focus anymore. For 39 years, my husband and I, we were debt free. We paid everything off. We bought everything cash. It is no longer our goal. We know we're disciplined enough to do that. We know we're disciplined enough to live that way. We always lived in nice houses. We always drove top of the line cars. We always drove Cadillacs and Lincolns. So that's not the issue. But here's the thing. When you want to access larger amounts of money to do large projects, you may need to borrow. We don't even nickel and dime the people that we pastor and give more, give more, give more. We're trying to do this. No. One of our mentors is Dr. Frederick Casey Price. He built what is called the Faith Dome. We were there in LA. He told all of us pastors, he said, here's one of the things I need to tell you I would never do again in life. He said, this cost us $14 million. He said, I would never do this, save all the money and do this, because we had money tied up for years. And this is all that it went to, the building. He said, if we had it to do over again, we would borrow, because then we could do everything at one time. All right. So I study millionaires. I study billionaires. And you know what I found out? There's almost none that do everything cash. Not only when you have a good name and good credit, do you build up a reputation where people trust you, where card companies and loan companies trust you. You are able to do several things at one time. You're able to do big projects at one time. And this is where we want to get. You know why I say this? We're living in an unstable time right now. And I started off telling you in there, and everybody didn't hear it. There's two banks. I really don't want this to go out, but I'm just telling you all. It's just friends talking, okay? Bank of America and Wells Fargo, but I'm definitely sure about Bank of America, which is Merrill Lynch is Bank of America. They have been having some trouble. The banking industry is not as stable as you think right now, okay? So what I'm saying is, if the internet went out, you know, most of us do business now from wallets. We do business now from debit cards, credit cards, online payments. Is that right?
Yes.
Not many people go into a place to pay bills anymore. We don't have to. But how about this? If the internet statewide went out for a day, this would cause a problem. If the internet, I'm not saying what is going to happen, but we saw a pandemic that I never saw in my whole lifetime. And I'm, what is that? 40, 50? Okay. I'm a few years older. We saw a pandemic I never saw in my lifetime. So how do we know? We've lived through floods. We've lived through hurricanes. We've lived through tornadoes. And the internet has been off for a few days. Electricity has been off for a few days. But what if everybody at one time, the internet was off for a period of time? This would create banking bedlam. Do you understand?
Yes, it would.
So people are suggesting now, at least start keeping some cash on hand, and this is one of your savings. Are we not telling you that? So yeah. I'm not saying put all your savings in a bank. You should have a savings in a bank. You should have what is called in between the mattress. I'm telling you all my good places. In the envelope, the coffee can, or somewhere that you keep some cash on hand. That's the emergency savings we're talking about, not just the bank. Okay? So, but everybody should start doing that. If the internet went out and if the bank closed, how about that? So the reason I said this about Bank of America, there's some people whose accounts went to zero who had sizable accounts. I'm talking about last week, not a long time ago. Last week. and their accounts were not rectified, their accounts went to zero.
Oh.
If the money in your bank went to zero and you have been saving, what happens then? Well, your money is insured up to, does anybody know how much your money is insured up to at every bank?
No, it depends on the bank.
250,000 pretty much. But do you know if everybody, that's FDIC, if everybody went to the bank at one time and said, I want my money, do you think your money is at the bank?
No.
It's not there. If everybody went to the bank and pulled their money out at one time, that bank would close.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sounds like I'm getting into bad news. I'm just trying to tell us, do a lot of different Are you all okay? Everybody okay?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I'm saying do a lot of different things with your money. Put it different places. That's what I'm saying. But I'm also saying get started now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We could form, if we wanted to, families could form their own banks. Do you realize that?
Yes.
If we wanted to, groups could form their own banks. What is a credit union? A credit union is a group of people. That's it. A credit union is a, oh my goodness, don't start with that. We need to be making our own banks, right? And do you know how easy it can be? It's Google it someday, look on YouTube someday and look at infinite banking. Look at family banking. Look at generational banking. All it is, the people who form it, it could be 3 people, 5 people. To tell you the truth, Angelique, Bishop Dwight, my husband, and myself, we have formed it over a period of years. Started with putting in $5 each. Then we went to $10 each. Then 20, then 40. And what has grown in a few years, we're able to help each other with emergencies. We're able to go on trips. We're able to do things that are fun. You know, the only thing that needs to happen, those people trust each other.
Yes.
3 people who trust each other. 5 people who trust each other. A credit union starts, here's a group of farmers, and then you see, that's Farmers Credit Union, right?
Yeah.
Here's a group of military, and then you see, that's the Military Credit Union. In the days we're living in, here's what we need to learn. To trust each other, and we've got to learn to trust each other financially. The people you're going to look to help you, they're not always going to be over here or over there. They're going to be some people that you know. And why can't we start that today?
Former slaves started doing that.
Yes.
Years, decades ago, generations ago. And when they got successful and beneficial in doing something, it's no way to say it, but what it was, white people came in and found a way to destroy it.
Found a way to destroy it. Listen, this is, oh my goodness, don't get me even started on that right there. I'm telling myself, Bernadette,
they created their own credit unions and all that. And yes. You know, banks, you know, the way they were doing it. And white people came in and was like, no, we're going to find a way and tore it down. We have a history, and our history isn't only slaves, you know. And I'm glad you taught us that our history isn't only slaves. We have a history of a lot of amazing things when we really learn about it.
Yes, and what is our reason? We need to start looking for what else can we do. There was a day when you put your money in a savings account, oh, the interest was so wonderful. You know, the interest is not so wonderful anymore in the bank.
No.
When you put your money in savings, so if that's not so, yes. So we might as well look for who can we trust. We could do this. All we have to do is write contracts. All we have to do is say this, and that. Here are the rules. Here is that. And you don't want to think it. But where family is concerned, where close friends are concerned, where even business associates are concerned, if you got rules, you got this and you got that, look, if you really do something crazy, we will sue you. It's in the, I mean, you got to get out of the group. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
And what's so hard about that? I'm just saying we've got to get new ways to think, right? And we've got to get there pretty soon. We live in times where we got to think differently. We're all too creative to be broke. We're all the kind of people that can go so far. We can do so much that we've never dreamed of doing before, that we've never thought of before, right? I could
Yes.
go on these subjects talking for a long time, but the premise of everything I'm saying is this one thing. Get started now. Let yourself dream what you want to do. All right?
Yes.
I think I should stop because there's too many directions that I could go that we probably don't want to go publicly.
We will have to have you come back and you can go all the directions you want to go.
All right. Thank you so much. Love you all. And I expect to hear from you when you're going to get started with the new thing.
Well, we thank you so much, Mom, for all of this wonderful insight. I know that I definitely need to do better and get more in depth with my investing with the cryptocurrency, and I definitely adhere your advice and your instruction on saving and putting money all the different places that it needs to be put. And I hope that our audiences have heard that. So we don't want y'all writing back in talking about that you are in the straight away when you got instruction on what to do. So
All right.
we definitely have had a wonderful time today, and I have enjoyed having you here and getting instruction. We definitely will have to have you come back, because when it comes to finances, there's just so many different avenues and different conversations to be had. And same thing with Dwight. We had Dwight here 2 weeks ago, and once we got started, we just couldn't stop. And when we get on the topic of health and wellness, which I wish you could have been a part of that conversation, we just got started and couldn't stop.
Yeah.
We probably I was gonna say we probably need to have you and Dwight on the same show, but that could go on for hours and hours.
Just chop it up and make it several.
But we definitely will have you back soon. And so thank you for all of our listeners for being with us. I know Chantilly left us. She was had to attend to her family, and so we just thank her for being on with us as long as she could. And so we're just going to go ahead and wrap it up. I know that Mom gave us all the different places that she can be found. And I know that's Drs. Dwight and Bernadette Elijah on Facebook. That's The Power of Health and Wellness on Facebook. Angelique, can you put up her Cash App for us, please? And that's Dr. Bernadette Elijah at Cash App. If you want to sew into her business, she does consultations on this. And so she can definitely help you far more than what you got tonight. And we definitely advise you to get in contact with her. And that phone number one more time, Mom?
843-896-2730.
All right.
I'll put all that contact and everything edited in on our Facebook, even our vision boards
Platforms.
each will be on our platforms, so everybody can really look at them.
All right. It's been a wonderful show. Thank you all so much for being with us tonight. Thank you for letting our family be your family, and you all have a wonderful night.